Welcome to English with Clara. I'm really happy you're here. If you enjoy learning English through calm, meaningful stories, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps this channel grow and allows me to create many more stories for English learners around the world. Thank you so much. Now, what is the most expensive gift you ever received? Now think about this question. What is the most valuable gift you ever received? These two questions are not the same. I learned this the hard way. My grandfather taught me the difference, and he taught me this lesson after he died. This is a true story about a small wooden box, an old watch, and a letter that changed my life. Stay until the end, because the last line of this video might change the way you see your own time. Chapter 1. The Phone Call. It was a normal Tuesday morning. I was at work, drinking my coffee, thinking about my next meeting. Then my phone rang. It was my mother. "Grandpa is gone," she said. "He passed away this morning." For a few seconds, I could not speak. I just sat there, looking at my coffee, listening to the sound of the office around me. People were talking. Phones were ringing. Life was going on. Normal, like nothing had happened. But for me, everything had stopped. My grandfather was 87 years old. He was sick for a few months, so it was not a total surprise. But it is strange. Even when we know something sad is coming, it still hurts when it finally arrives. I felt sad. Of course, I felt sad. But under the sadness, there was something else. Something worse. Regret. I live only 2 hours away from my grandparents' house. 2 hours. Not 2 days, not 2 countries, just 2 hours by car. But in the last 2 years, how many times did I visit him? 4 times, maybe 5. I always had a reason. Work was busy. I was tired on weekends. I told myself, I will visit him next month. Next month became next season. Next season became next year. And now there was no next time anymore. I remember my grandfather's voice on the phone a few weeks before he died. He said, "Come and see me when you have time, son. I am not going anywhere." But he was wrong. And I was wrong too. I thought I had all the time in the world. I did not. I drove to my grandparents' house that same day. The drive felt very long. I looked at the road, but in my mind I saw pictures from my childhood. My grandfather teaching me to ride a bicycle. My grandfather telling old stories by the fire. My grandfather laughing at his own jokes. Why did I not visit him more? I still ask myself this question today. Chapter 2. The Funeral. The funeral was on a cold, gray day. It felt right somehow. The sky matched how I felt inside. Many people came, old friends, neighbors, family members I had not seen in years. Everyone had a story about my grandfather. He fixed a neighbor's roof for free. He taught a young boy how to fish. He always had a kind word for everyone he met. Listening to these stories, I felt proud, but I also felt small. These people knew stories about my grandfather from last year, from last month. My last real memory of him was from many months before. After the funeral, we all went back to my grandparents' house. The house was full of people, full of food, full of quiet conversations. But it felt empty too, because the most important person was missing. I found my grandmother sitting alone in the kitchen. She looked so small in her chair, holding a cup of tea she was not drinking. I sat down next to her. I did not know what to say, so I just held her hand. "He loved you very much, you know," she said quietly. "He talked about you all the time." Those words hit me hard. He talked about me all the time, but I did not make time for him. The guilt in my chest grew heavier. Then my grandmother stood up slowly. She walked to a small closet and took out a wooden box. It was old and simple, with small scratches on the wood, like it had a long history of its own. She placed it gently in my hands. "Your grandfather wanted you to have this," she said. "He prepared it a few weeks ago. He knew his time was coming, and he wanted you to have it after he was gone." I looked at the box. It was light, too light to hold anything expensive, I thought. "What is it?" I asked. My grandmother smiled a small, sad smile. "Open it when you are alone," she said. "He wanted you to read the letter first, without other people around." I nodded. I held the box carefully, like it was made of glass, and I waited for the right moment to open it. Chapter 3. The Wooden Box. That night, I sat alone in my old childhood bedroom at my grandparents' house. The house was quiet now. Everyone had gone home. Only my grandmother was sleeping in the next room. I placed the wooden box on the bed in front of me. My hands were shaking a little. I did not know why I felt so nervous. It was just a box. Slowly, I opened it. Inside, I found 3 things. First, an old watch. It was not gold. It was not expensive. The leather strap was worn and cracked. The glass on the front had a small scratch. It looked like a watch you could buy at any market for a few dollars. Second, a photograph. It showed me and my grandfather sitting by a lake, both holding fishing rods. I remembered that day. I was maybe 7 years old. My grandfather was smiling at the camera, and I was laughing at something he had just said. Third, a white envelope with my name written on it in my grandfather's handwriting. I will be honest with you. My first feeling was disappointment. I do not say this with pride. I say it because it is true, and because I think many of us would feel the same way. Somewhere in my mind, I had imagined something else. Maybe money, maybe a valuable object, maybe a family secret, something big. Instead, I found an old watch, an old photo, and a letter. I almost closed the box right there, but then I remembered my grandmother's words. "Open it when you are alone. He wanted you to read the letter first." So I picked up the envelope. My hands were still shaking, a little more now. I opened it carefully, trying not to tear the paper. Inside was a letter, written by hand. My grandfather's handwriting was not perfect. His hands were probably weak when he wrote it, but every word was clear. I took a deep breath, and I started to read. Chapter 4. The Letter. The letter began like this. "If you are reading this, I am gone. Do not be too sad, my boy. I lived a long life, and I lived it the way I wanted." I stopped reading for a moment. My eyes were already full of tears. I wiped them and continued. "I know you are probably confused right now. You are looking at an old watch and wondering why I gave you this instead of something more valuable. Let me explain. This watch is old. It does not even work correctly anymore. It loses a few minutes every day. It is worth almost nothing in money. But it is worth everything in meaning, and I will tell you why. People spend their whole lives chasing money. They work long hours. They miss birthdays. They miss weekends with their families. They tell themselves, "I will rest later.
I will spend time with my family later. I will follow my dream later. But later does not always come. I wore this watch for 40 years, my boy. 40 years of waking up, going to work, coming home, and repeating the same day. For a long time, I thought this was normal life. I thought there would always be more time to travel, more time to see old friends, more time to tell the people I love how much they mean to me. Then, one day, I was 60 years old, then 70, then 80. And I understood something important, but I understood it too late for many things. Time is the only thing in life we cannot buy back. You can lose money and make more money again. You can lose a job and find a new one. But you cannot lose time and get it back. Every minute that passes is gone forever. I am not giving you this watch so you can tell the time. I am giving it to you so you can remember this lesson every time you look at it. Every minute is a gift. Do not wait for the right moment to say, "I love you" to the people around you. Say it today. Do not wait for the right moment to follow your dream. Start today, even if it is a small step. Do not wait for the right moment to visit the people you love. Visit them today if you can. I know we did not see each other as much as we both wanted in these last years. I understand. Life is busy, work is demanding, and time moves fast without asking permission. I am not writing this to make you feel guilty. I am writing this so that you do not make the same mistake I made for so many years. Look at the photograph in the box. That day at the lake was one of the happiest days of my life. Not because we caught many fish. We did not catch anything, if I remember correctly. But because we were together, with no phones, no work, no rush. Just time. Simple, quiet time. That is the real treasure, my boy. Not money, not big houses, not expensive gifts. Time spent with the people you love. I love you very much. I am proud of you. And now, I want you to promise me something. Live the rest of your life understanding that time is the most valuable gift of all. With all my love, Grandpa. I put the letter down. I could not hold my tears anymore. I sat there for a long time, crying quietly, holding the old watch in my hand. For the first time, the watch did not feel light and worthless. It felt like the heaviest, most precious object I had ever held.
Chapter 5. A New Way to Live. The days after the funeral were difficult, but my grandfather's letter stayed in my mind every single day. I read it again and again until I almost knew it by heart. I started to look at my own life more closely, and I did not like everything I saw. I worked long hours, often more than necessary. I told my parents, "I will call you this weekend." And then the weekend came, and I was too tired or too busy or simply forgot. I told myself I would learn to paint one day, something I wanted to do since I was young, but one day never arrived. I was living exactly like my grandfather described in his letter, waiting for the right moment. A moment that, for many things, never comes by itself. We have to create it. So, I decided to make small changes. Not huge, dramatic changes, just simple ones, one step at a time. First, I called my parents more often. Not only on birthdays or holidays, but on normal Tuesdays, just to ask, "How was your day?" It sounds small, but for them it meant a lot. And for me, too. Second, I started spending real time with the people I love. Not just being in the same room while looking at my phone, but really being present, talking, listening, laughing together. Third, I finally started painting again. My first paintings were not good, honestly, but that was not the point. The point was that I stopped waiting for someday and started today. I also began visiting my grandmother regularly. Every 2 weeks, sometimes every week, we would sit in the same kitchen where she gave me the wooden box, drinking tea, talking about my grandfather, about old memories, about simple daily things. One day, she looked at me and said, "You know, your grandfather would be very happy to see you here so often now." I smiled, but inside, I felt something between joy and sadness. Joy, because I was finally doing what mattered. Sadness, because it took losing him to understand this lesson. I will not tell you that my life became perfect after that. I still have busy days. I still make mistakes. I am still human. But something important changed inside me. Now, when I feel too tired to call my family, I remember the letter. When I feel too busy to spend time with the people I love, I remember the watch. When I think, I will do it later, I ask myself, what if later never comes? This simple question changed the way I plan my days, my weeks, and even my dreams. Chapter 6. The Old Watch. Today, I still have the old watch from my grandfather. It sits on a small shelf next to my bed where I can see it every morning when I wake up and every night before I sleep. It still does not work correctly. It still loses a few minutes every day, exactly like it did when my grandfather wore it. I could easily buy a new battery or take it to a shop to repair it, but I never do. I do not keep this watch to know what time it is. I have a phone for that, like everyone else. I keep this watch to remember what time really means. Every time I look at it, I think of my grandfather's words. Time is the only thing in life we cannot buy back. I think of all the weekends I could have spent with him and did not. I think of all the phone calls I could have made and postponed. But instead of only feeling regret, I try to use these memories as fuel to live better, starting today. Sometimes when I feel stressed about work or worried about small, unimportant problems, I look at the watch and everything becomes clear again. Deadlines matter less. Arguments about small things matter less. What matters is calling my mother back. What matters is having dinner with my grandmother. What matters is telling the people I love that I love them without waiting for a special occasion. The watch never changed my life by itself. It is just an old, broken object, but the lesson behind it changed everything. Final message. So, here is my question for you today. The same question my grandfather, without knowing it, asked me through his letter. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the right moment to call someone you love? Are you waiting for the right moment to say, I am sorry, or thank you, or I love you? Are you waiting for the right moment to start the project, the dream, the change you have been thinking about for years? I am not telling you to quit your job tomorrow or to change your whole life in one day. Small steps are enough. A phone call today. 10 minutes with someone you love this evening. One small step toward your dream this week. Time will pass anyway. The only question is, how do you want to spend it? My grandfather gave me a box with 3 simple things: a watch, a photo, and a letter. At first, I thought it was not enough. Now I understand it was one of the most valuable gifts I have ever received. The greatest gift was not really inside the box. The greatest gift was the way my grandfather taught me to live, even after he was gone. If this story touched you, think of one person you love and reach out to them today. Do not wait for the right moment. The right moment is now. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next story.